Question 1. Can you give examples of how you have enhanced the student experience at Salford?
Well, I think obviously being a current SAB sort of lends itself to answering this question quite well. I mean, obviously the whole purpose of sabbatical officers, I think, and faculty-based VPs is to enhance students' experience, and we have more direct contact with, I think, students and the issues that are really important to them, such as their academic experience. This year I've been heavily involved in making sure that timetables in the Faculty of Business Law and Built Environment have come out on time, and other things such as keeping a check on communications of what the schools are doing, making sure that they are communicating well with students, and like basically holding the schools there to account. I think some more palpable things are such as in business management, students in level 2 who had issues with their timetable in terms of a lecture that was very badly organised, and they had a massive, for their seminar groups, they had a massive 120 student sized seminar group, which is obviously no good. They need to be smaller and more manageable so that students get more one-on-one time with the lecturers. So that's like something that I've been doing this year as a vice president. And also, I think some of the other more fun things, such as putting on a bigger and better rep night this year, things like Christmas ball, these are some of the other things outside sort of the academic sphere that, do improve students' experience as well.
Question 2. What do you propose to do to make the University and Students' Union more accessible for students who identify as disabled?
I think one of the key ones about disabilities, and obviously self-defining disabled students, is obviously about how they define themselves as disabled. For example, students who are dyslexic might identify themselves as being disabled. And I think this year there is very large scope to actually do something quite big on improving the experience for those students, i.e. a plain language campaign. I think the university have really not done enough this year to make communications and information for students very accessible. So I think that's like one thing there for those sorts of students. I think as well, there's some really good innovative stuff that we can use on the internet, which will really help disabled students who have sort of physical sort of mobile restrictions. There's a website called Disable Go, for example, which really helps students, or anyone who's sort of physically disabled or immobile or has those problems, work out where places which are good for them, where they can get good access, where lifts are, all those sorts of things. So that's something I think that perhaps Students' Union should be tapping into as well.
Question 3. What would you do to engage with the hard-to-reach groups in your faculty?
I think with those hard-to-reach groups, I mean, obviously, I think the most important thing to sort of engage with them is to obviously go and speak to them. I think we know like some of the key ones, like international students, for example, perhaps sort of mature students, postgraduates, and I think we need to let them know that, okay, the union does lots of different things, like we do sports and we do activities and stuff like that, but we need to let them know that we do something for them, even if it isn't the traditional, go to the pub or let's go to the bar. We need to let them know that we are here for support, we're here to help them and represent them with their academics as well. And as I say, I think really sort of just getting out and actually trying to speak to these students and actually trying to build relationships with the communities and the networks, I mean, we know that there's a massive sort of Indian network of students, so why can't we just go out and speak to them, and get to know them better? I mean, obviously this is a university-wide issue as well, it's just faculty-based, and I think one of the key things that I'm saying for this year is to get part-time officers to represent those hard-to-reach students, so we can actually have more accountability for what we do for them, so we can have international part-time student, mature part-time student, so that they have more of a say in what the union can do for them.